NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Carolina Panthers and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here's Ronald Jones, first carry for the USC man. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. This running game's so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead him to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
Second down, Winston. The Panther rush too strong. They get there and take him down. Cameron Hayward able to swamp him from that defensive tackle spot for a loss of 5. So trouble already here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 9. Working out of the gun, Winston. He finds Coleman. And he'll be brought down with the first down and a late flag here too. And he may get a few more tacked on for good measure. Now it's 1st and 10, a big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and putting the defense back on its heels.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. On 1st and 10, Winston. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Second and 10 from the 33-yard line. On 2nd down, it's Jones. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. In on the tackle there, Luke Kuechly.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
On 3rd down, Winston. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before.
Through an opening, and there he goes. 20, 10.
All right, let's give credit where credit is due. How about that return? Great blocking, great vision, all the way down to the 2-yard line. The only person who has to be upset, the guy who didn't get it into the end zone. That far and no reward?
Point after, right down the middle. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Buccaneers offensive unit back out on the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Give the tackle there to Keon Crossan.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Now Jameis on second down. Forced out to his left. Now he'll let it go deep left side. And they went for a big play through the air on second down. Couldn't connect. Now it's third.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. After an incomplete pass on second down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. To throw, Winston. Shakes off the sack. Coleman has it here right side. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. He missed on his first 3 passes, was 0 for 3. Now gets a connection. Maybe that'll get him going.
Yeah, it wasn't a time for panic, but there was some concern because once you start in a certain pattern, you're wondering, can you get out of it? And that flips the other way, too, when you're throwing it really well. In this case, now he's got his first completion. They think he might be off to the races.
And incomplete as he was knocked as he threw it, and it took the ball off course.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10.
Easy.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And 3 yards there takes him to the 45.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. Open man has got it. It's complete. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. First catch for him on the afternoon, and it results in a first down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Hey, stop. Let's go.
Winston now to throw on 1st down. Flushed out right. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. Charles, he doesn't seem to be particularly in tune with his receivers, just 2 for 7 throwing the football, but he did seem really locked in before the game.
Yeah, and that has to do with receivers sometimes. Sometimes the defenders knock them off their routes, and you're usually pretty precise. 1, 2, 3 cut, balls out of his hands to the receiver. In this case, might be off by a half step either way. They've got to find a way to get back in sync.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And a short gain down to about the 33. Give him 3 on the play, and all of a sudden here it's 3rd down.
Let's go now. Screen, triple C. Hey, sub. Let's go.
From the gun, Winston. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
And this is good. It was running out of gas there at the end, but he winds up getting just enough on it. And they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. Now it's Patterson. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. So Newton and the Panthers come up now 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line. First carry for Christian McCaffrey. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give him the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
McCaffrey with a first down and more. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
So from Buccaneer territory now, it's 1st and 10 right at the 40. With my good friend Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin with you. It's the Panthers in possession of the football as we begin quarter number 2. And they've got it here with a first down.
Do some.
From the gun, here's Newton. And he'll dump this off to his running back, McCaffrey. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. Give him 7 on the play, and that'll make it 2nd down. Well, he's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play, 2nd and 3. Now they'll run it on the toss. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. M.J. Stewart made the tackle from his corner spot. Well, they know how to protect the pass, but sometimes cornerbacks, they can also stop the run, can't they?
Is that what we call a complete corner? Yeah, because we're so used to these guys just being defenders in the pass game. How about the guys who can come up and make the tackles? That's what we just saw there for no gain, too.
Newton on 3rd down. Going for the deep ball. And he's got it. Touchdown, Panthers. DJ Moore, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Panthers are able to grow their lead. So on 3rd and medium, they dial up the pass, and it works to hit the end zone.
And it's really not a surprise to me. That's a throwing down in the NFL because of how tough it is to run the football. But what offenses like to do is still show run formations to make them respect it and throw out of those. In this case, they took a nice shot at the end zone and made it pay off.
And Tampa Bay trots out there now. They're kind of searching for that magic elixir. You know, they're moving the football a little bit, but not with any great consistency.
I love that term you just used, elixir, right?
Old school.
Old school. I love that because you don't want to put too much pressure on your defense as well, all right? If you're kicking field goals, that's great, but your defense has to keep going out there and holding the other team. You're not giving them any cushion to work with, and that gets tougher and tougher as the game goes along. Put the ball in the end zone and get sixes. That's the ambrosia that they're looking for.
Ambrosia and trying to erase this deficit. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. A gain of 3, second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Ready. White 25.
Now a second down throw for Winston. Eluding the pressure right. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. 3rd catch of this first half for him, and this one is a first down. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Follow.
First down, Winston. Throwing the out route, incomplete. That's Coleman. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. And now the passing game here in the second quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it. Now the confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it well.
Looking for Evans, and it's intercepted. Dante Jackson picks it. And he's got daylight. It's a foot race. And he will bring this one back. It's a pick 6 for a Panther touchdown. Make it back-to-back weeks now with a pick 6 for him. He had one a week ago.
Talk about being in the groove, and what are the odds of what we're seeing right here? You don't see it happen very often. Listen, if you get a pick 6 in a season, it's been a big year, let alone back-to-back weeks. I'll tell you this, I wouldn't play cards against this guy in the locker room.
This is taken at the 3. And he will be marked down right there at the 20-yard line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And following the pick 6, and they have decent field position in throwing that pick 6. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
But they told him, and they told us, they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
And I think he's going to go. They're not going to get him. The 20, 10, touchdown, Tampa Bay. Ronald Jones, an 80-yard touchdown. And the Bucs get the quick strike touchdown. Heck of a start to his season. He had 2 touchdowns in the opener last week, another one here in week 2.
Well, I don't want to call him a touchdown machine this early, but sometimes you get locked in, and you feel good about things. You get into that zone, and those touchdowns come in bunches. He may be off to that kind of a start.
It's like he was shot out of a cannon. I would imagine success this early, great momentum going forward for the rest of the year.
He keeps this up, they'll soon be chanting MVP anytime he touches the ball.
So Newton and the Panthers come up now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They start on the ground with McCaffrey. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. And the tackle there by Quan Alexander. Good job there keeping him to a short gain. Of course, he's coming off a really terrific performance, reigning NFC Defensive Player of the Week.
And I know people get caught up in, well, if you're the reigning Defensive Player of the Week, you must have made a bunch of spectacular plays. Like you mixed in a few of those, but most of the plays are just like we saw there. Keep them to short gains, make the fundamental tackle.
180.
On 2nd down, here's Newton. Throw left side. McCaffrey's got it. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
On 1st and 10, Newton. He sets to fire deep. So they took a shot on 1st down, but couldn't connect. So a minute 56 to play in this first half. We'll come back to Tampa after this timeout. Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10.
20.
This is Newton off the play fake to McCaffrey. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38.
Well, competition comes up in so many different ways. And right now, this unit, their competition is who's going to get to the quarterback the most times. Had about 5 sacks last week. We just saw their first one of this game.
And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play as we'll get a timeout. As they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So now Cam leads the Panthers up following the sack. Carolina facing 3rd and long. A shotgun snap for Newton. He'll drop it off to McCaffrey. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. And now the Bucs deciding to take a timeout defensively. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And this one is right down Broadway. And that will bump the lead up to 11. So a good snap, good hold, and right down the middle.
Never in doubt. Just the way you used to hit them, partner.
You mean like kicking the ball?
Exactly.
Well, that was in high school.
Doesn't matter. I don't care what level. You hit them, they go through.
This is taken at his 4. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length, that's just not being prepared. So now, are they determined? Are they ready to read their keys and make the proper plays?
And we'll see how determined they are. That's going to go as a loss of 6, and it'll set them back for second down.
Hey, let's get to work.
To throw is Winston. He sets up the screen to Jones. Give him 6 on the screen, but now it's third down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
The Bucs on third down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. From the shotgun, it's Winston. Looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. Picked up by James Bradbury. And he will bring this one back. It's a pick 6 for a Panther touchdown. So now 2 pick 6s that he's thrown in this first half of play. Where do you go from here?
Well, number one, make sure you keep your poise. Make sure you go to the sideline after throwing this second one, and you look like you're still in charge, that you're still the guy, because your team's going to feed off of you. And if you're having your hands on your head or shaking your head and walking with your head down, guess what? They're not going to rally at all.
This one fielded at the 5. And it winds up a terrific return, but markers are down. And this is going to come all the way back. Jameis now on first down. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Final play of the half here. Winston. Wide open receiver, complete. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. So we come upon halftime, intermission here with the visiting Panthers taking the lead to the locker room. As we send you a stone's throw away across I-4 to Orlando. There standing by is Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, now it's Patterson. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Out come the Panthers. They'll have it first on offense in the third quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. Boston Scott, his first carry. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Newton on first down. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. It's a gain of 5, and that'll make this a second down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Here's Newton now on second down. Flush to his right. And this is incomplete.
Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude, but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
Now, he's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Out of the gun, Newton. He's going to air one out. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a 4th down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, and have them back on their heels.
And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. Here comes the Buccaneers offense. They get their first reps of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance really to set the tone here in quarter 3.
They can really take charge, can't they? And this is probably how it was drawn up at the half. I think we can go inside the locker room, all right? And I think we would see up on the grease boards, stop them defensively, get the ball back for the offense, and let's go downfield and score. Seems simple, right? The last part, we have to find out that's going to happen. But the first part worked to perfection. Did exactly what they wanted, and now their offense has to pay it off.
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. He got 29 yards that time. A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes off and goes and just runs past people. Sometimes you get people to back off so far that you can catch everything underneath. But still, at some point in the game, you probably have to make some contested catches, right? Sometimes you have to go up and beat a defender for the football. He has that in his arsenal as well.
Showed it right there. Jameis now 9 of 17 through the air. Not a great percentage, but it is 1st and 10.
550. Sonic. 54.
Winston now. Being chased out left. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there. It's 2nd down.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion or even worse, an interception.
Stay in there.
2nd down, Winston. Throw right side, taken in by Godwin. And he gets it down to the 32. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and you can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. Still just the 3rd quarter, but they've got to make something happen. I think they know that. They're going for it on 4th.
5 on the 50. 5 on the 50.
Working out of the gun. Winston. Steps away. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. The Bucs try it on 4th down, but come up empty. And the Panthers will get the football back. So Newton and the Panthers come up now 1st and 10 at their own 37. They'll try to get the running game going with McCaffrey. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a 1st down.
A big hole there. How about him handling the point of attack? Just positioning himself so that run could go right off of his backside and deep into the secondary.
From the 50, Newton. They'll roll him out right. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 33. And the return stops just a few yards shy of midfield. They'll spot the ball at the 47-yard line. So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10. Following the interception, Winston. Looking downfield for Godwin. So they took a shot on 1st down, but couldn't connect. They have not gotten him going at all. Tried to spark something there with a longer throw, unable to complete it.
But you have to keep trying. He's one of their best playmakers. No matter what it says on the scoreboard, you're always trying to get him the football.
Play action now, Winston. Looking downfield for Jones. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
An attempt at a deep ball there. They didn't get it. But, boy, they're going to need a few of those to actually hit in order to get back into this game.
Good thing they do have a little bit of time here still left in the contest. Decent-sized deficit, but not one that they can't manage. On 3rd down, Winston. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. I guess they figure they got to start taking some chances. Here's a big one in this 3rd quarter as he'll go for it on 4th down.
5 on the 50. 5 on the 50. 5 on the 50.
They're indeed going. It's Winston. Open man is Godwin. It's complete. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. It's a gain of 13, and how about that? They're able to convert on 4th and 10. Winston now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the 2nd half. Not bad. 1st and 10. To the air again with Winston. The throw to the left side, caught by Coleman. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. They'll throw again. Winston. Over the middle, he finds Godwin complete. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. 23 yards on the play.
And that was a heck of a shot right there by Jameis Winston. Boy, he has a superior right arm, doesn't he? You saw him play baseball.
Yeah, he's actually a switch hitter in baseball. Outfielder, and then, of course, a very hard-throwing pitcher. That's translated well in the National Football League.
That it has. When he has to make that throw on a line, he's got plenty of arm to do it.
And they'll turn to a power game to try to get in. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. It's the fullback, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Bucs are able to close the gap just a bit. So now a 2-point conversion attempt coming for Winston and the Bucs. They'll look to run forward with Williams. And he's going to get in for the 2 points, and that'll make this a 10-point game. They get the conversion, and Charles, when you only have 2 yards to go, what do you think of the toss play? Because initially it kind of sets you back a little bit.
It does, especially if you get a lot of pressure coming towards you. But if you can get to the edge, if you seal the edge with your blocking, often your tackle or your tight end on what they call the play side where the ball goes, you can get to the corner, and that allows those big guys to get out ahead of the runner.
Carolina getting set to take the field. The 3rd quarter has not been kind to them. After they built that lead at intermission, they've seen that lead shrink.
And how much of that is simply execution? How much of that is maybe you lose your edge a little bit because you've got a lead? And you do have to credit the other team some because they've made some adjustments to start to slow them down. Can they find those counters now, those extra plays or plays they haven't run that'll be effective and get them back moving again?
They'll be looking for something here, anything to seize that momentum back. Back now in Tampa. It's the Panthers out in front and in control of the football as well as we begin quarter number 4. Back to the ground on first. It's McCaffrey. And he's able to get across midfield and down into Buccaneer territory. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, just 1 for 3 thus far. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches.
Gun. Sit. Ready? Gun. Hey.
After the run, Newton going to throw. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Ready? Black 25.
They'll start out on the ground with Jones. And he will take this up to about the 8-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that block.
Nice move on the play, but he will be brought down shy of the 15. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a 3rd down. The Bucs on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. Here it's 3rd and 3. Jameis to throw it. A 5-yard loss there is going to bring up 4th down. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. He's got Evans. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 20. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. You're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
He's going to fire one deep. He's got a man complete. And he takes it all the way down to the 32. It's a big play there for the Buccaneers. 48 yards. Now a first down carry by Jones. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Shaq Thompson on the tackle that time.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Now a second down throw for Winston. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Dante Jackson picks it, and a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. He's at it again, Charles. He had the pick six last week. Not a pick six here, but an interception.
It's another Oski, because that's the word we use when we intercept a pass. Oski tells your team to rally around and block for you. Well, that worked really well last week because he had made it all the way to the end zone. This week he got the Oski, maybe not a touchdown, but boy, he's playing really well.
The drive begins with a run by McCaffrey. And a short pickup there as he'll take this up to right around the 20. There to stop him was Rashawn Golden. You know, I was going to ask you if maybe they should surprise and pass the ball, but where they're at on the field, I think keep it on the ground, right?
I like where you're going with this one because field position is going to determine these play calls. And backed up where they are, I don't even think about putting the ball in the air. I tell my running backs, grasp the football, and I tell my offensive line, don't allow any leaks so they get hit immediately when we hand it off.
Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. Have to imagine this will be on the ground as well as they come up 2nd and 7. Again, they run. Again, it's McCaffrey. And he stopped immediately there. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ball game. Now, this is a big third down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. Now Newton. And able to find Dorsett. Unable to corral him. He fights through. And he gets this down deep into Tampa Bay territory. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Moved back to the 10. They'll try on 2nd and goal here.
Set. Set, buddy.
He's going to get it running right. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
A lot of scoring. There's no doubt about that in this one, Charles. Points, they were not at a premium. They were